So I'm going to introduce our wonderful speakers who will come on in just a minute and share their slides and tell us their story. Annalisa Peace, I always want to say Annalise because I have a friend named Annalise. I apologize. Annalisa Peace has a master's degree in urban administration from Trinity, and she has over 30 years experience with government and nonprofit organizations in San Antonio. And since 2004, she's been the executive director of the Greater Edwards Aquifer Alliance, or GEAA to its friends, and we're all friends of that. And it unites 52 organizations throughout a 21-county region in Central and South Texas. And they are behind a plan to protect the Edwards and Trinity aquifers, all the springs that spring from those aquifers, the contributing watersheds, and of course the Texas Hill Country that sustains us all. And tonight, Annalisa is joined by Dr. Ron Green, a member of the Edwards Aquifer Authority Aquifer Science Advisory Panel. Now there's a mouthful. We really appreciate having him. He has a PhD in hydrology and from the University of Arizona. He recently retired as an institute scientist in the Geosciences and Engineering Division at Southwest Research Institute. And he tells me that he's watching birds now. So I've warned him to be careful because that is an addictive thing to do, but we hope we get him hooked on those birds. He's served on the State Board of Nature Conservancy. He currently serves on the boards of the Senator Frank Madla Natural Area and the National Cave and Karst Research Institute. But he told me to please emphasize that he is not a caver. He doesn't go down in there to study them. So Annalisa and Ron are here to tell us more about this wonderful, unique treasure that we call the Edwards Aquifer, and what has been done and what must be done in the future to protect it and the springs and all the other wonderful aspects of it that provide water and habitat to plants and animals that aren't found anywhere else in the world. And of course, a critical resource for all of us human critters that live in the same area as our water, right? So I'm going to now stop my slides and let Dr. He told me to call him Ron, so I'm going to let Ron put his slides up. Dr. Ron.
Yeah, thank you so much to Bear Audubon for having us. I mean, we really love to talk about the aquifer here at GEAA. And for this meeting, I'm really grateful to y'all because we're gonna, Ron is gonna present the presentation that we would have liked to have made to City Council and put out there about the Edwards Aquifer Protection Program. It's very timely because the City Council will be voting on initiatives for the sales tax. So, yeah, I'm like I said, really grateful to y'all for doing this. So, yes, Bear Audubon is one of our member groups. I'm not seeing my slides, but
okay, is everyone seeing the slides? Somebody unmute and tell me. Are you seeing them, Mr. Ron?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm over here.
Just a second.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I got it. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So if you look, pretty much the colored areas on the map are GEAA service areas, but we also go all the way down to Del Rio. Next. Yeah, and the Texas Commission for Environmental Quality has designated the Edwards Aquifer as the major aquifer in the state most vulnerable to pollution. So when we have one of the most prolific aquifers in the world, but it also makes it incredibly vulnerable to pollution because that water goes in so fast that there is no filtration. And everyone's going to be talking more about this next. Yeah, and so you see some of the large channel flow. This is actually, I believe, the picture with the caver in it is our own Honey Creek cave that we're trying to protect right now. Next. Oh, next. And this rock is pretty amazing, and I think it, you know, we've been told it makes the Edwards Aquifer uniquely prolific. When I go to groups in person, I take this rock with me. They'll say, you know, does the aquifer filter water? Everybody's been taught that our aquifers filter water, but as you can see, if you were to pour some water on that, there is no filtration, and that's how our water's entering the aquifer. Next. Yeah, so we have surface water across the Edwards and Trinity aquifer regions is scarce. A lot of that recharge occurs through the stream beds, which is a continual challenge to us in GEAA, because within our service area, development's happening so rapidly, and we're seeing these streams become polluted, and so as TCP calls them, impaired. Next. So yeah, the Edwards is the source of the largest springs in Texas, and if you look at that, you see where the major cities originally settled around those springs and the waterways, which is actually on the artesian zone of the Edwards, where it's not vulnerable. And then historically, we didn't have a lot of settlement in the light blue or the green areas, which is the contributing and recharge zones, because there wasn't a lot of surface water and the very sparse soil cover. So it was not really good for agricultural use. So historically, we had settlement patterns that were just naturally protective of the Edwards as a water source, but when we started drilling wells, all that has changed. Next. Yeah, so you see here the where the cities and towns were located. Next. And then we take in and work with the folks down at the basin estuaries, and a lot of the work we have done is to make sure that the water goes from those springs where that originate in the hill country for the most part, and then go all the way down the mainly the San Antonio and Guadalupe watersheds within our region, but some of it in the Nueces watershed as well. And that's really important because it's essential to the wildlife and the economy, actually, of the coast, that we maintain the freshwater and saline water balance in those basin estuaries. So we have spent a lot of time over the years and are still engaged with the coastal communities as well. Next. And then we have all these wonderful endangered and threatened species. These are some of them. These have been really, I guess, the frontline soldiers in allowing us to protect the aquifer, because the Endangered Species Act is one of the strongest tools we have. Now I'm going to go ahead and toss this